All right, Sean, here he goes. Kendall Roosing, Sean Williams calling the action in your main event with the belt on the line. Here we go.
Yes. Jonnatas has a really nice single. He kind of blasts in there for it, which is good. You don't really want to give Mica an overhook for any length of time, and he sits guard.
Look how Mica immediately drove that right knee in the middle, though.
Yeah, he does a flying knee cut quite a bit when people try to jump guard or close the distance with the legs. He's able to put his knee through the middle with some great timing.
And if you notice, his knee went in the middle, but his elbow did as well, right? He used his elbow in that inside position. It's outside now, but I think that was really smart to bring his elbow and his knee connected as he entered.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's that flying knee cut, Sean.
Yeah. He's got an underhook. He put that knee cut, leg pummeled right away.
Wow, look at the shin pinning here on the near side arm.
He's worked himself to the mount really quickly with some fine line work there.
In less than a minute to the mount. The shin pinning was beautiful. He's got a head and arm control here.
And he should be able to do this again with that upper body tie up. He's got a head arm. He should be able to get that knee cutting through the middle. Here he comes. He didn't like what he felt left off now. Now here, Jonnatas is very, very good at inversions. Ooh, look at this. See, look at him going on the heel hook. Mica, look at that.
Whoa, back exposure, big time here.
And that's what I'm talking about. How many times have you seen him drop on a leg? Not very often. And so drop on a leg and then come up with a back take. So it's just one of those things.
One of the things we see from Mica is he so seamlessly blends his back takes and the passing sequences. And we see that from many high-level competitors, and a nice friendly exchange here between these guys. Mica known for that, right? Known for being very friendly. But he so seamlessly blends the back takes with the passing, so that even when you have someone like Jonnatas Gracie, who is very good in inversion, has great retention, he's so fluid with the way he moves between his attacks. He doesn't really, the person is trying to defend, but they're kind of slowly getting further behind in the exchanges until Mica takes a dominant position.
Yeah, he does such a fine job of going from position to submission and then submission to position again through movement, because it's usually, it's not set. It may or may not be set. It just, he uses these things to gain the opposite very, very well.
Look at this cross-arm control here, too, from Jonnatas. He has his left arm threaded through to the back of the tricep. You would imagine he might be looking for some sort of arm drag or potentially to stuff that arm. But with Mica's arms connected, I think that proved to be pretty impossible.
Yeah.
We do see body lock passing from Mica quite often as well. So I think that's going to feel threatening to anyone when his hands are locked around your waist that way. Always kind of has the knee cut ready to go, though. Like you said, Sean, he has that knee kind of riding on the back of the thigh, waiting for that entrance. And even here, he has to be careful a little bit with that tilt sweep that Jonnatas could throw on him with the legs. Closed guard with the knee inside, but again, the fluidity here is incredible.
Yeah. Using that knee cut well, as you mentioned.
Different approach here now from Jonnatas with this reverse de la Riva. I believe I can't quite see the other angle, but I think he might have locked his feet at this point too.
We might see Mica move to the right, start to pick up his knees off the floor and start moving more into the guard.
Oh, big crossface there. And we see Diego Pato here as well. Now, Diego Pato is currently the only concurrent two-weight champion at Flow Grappling, who's #1, and Mica's trying to become the second. So that's what he's after today.
Jonnatas going after that arm lock on that far side, but he got his leg over the head, but really couldn't get more than that. But still hunting for that, still trying to get underneath that arm, put that arm up by his neck.
And it was the same arm that he was trying to arm drag earlier as well, so I think it's just interesting to note that that could be a big part of Jonnatas' game plan, is to continue attacking the left arm of Mica, maybe in different ways. Hard to imagine what your game plan would be coming up against Mica Galvão, right?
He's very difficult to make us very specific. You have some general game plans and understand general weaknesses, but it's then when you get in here and he drops on a heel hook and tries to take your back, it shakes some things up. It's,
Look at
Judges favor blue.
Excuse me, almost spoke over the judge's favor right there. Of course, not super surprising seeing that is coming through from Galvão after that pass and early mount. I was going to mention earlier, Mica's pressure on the knee shield, anytime we see it, his right hip stays so heavy. Oh, potential leg entry or even some back exposure for Jonnatas on Mica, but that, gotta be careful with that topside leg.
Well, Jonnatas, he got good control of the hip. He's good from here. He's good at the back take. He's good at trying to get back to leg drags. As long as he doesn't give up a foot lock like that, yeah. But he's good. Jonnatas is actually really good in these positions right here.
Hip switches over, almost comes to a dominant position himself, and you can hear the AOJ crowd really liking that whenever Jonnatas gets a look at something good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very good on those knee wedgie back takes. Knee wedge back takes, you know. But, yeah, he's good there. So it doesn't surprise me that he was able to generate some real offense once he got there.
Back to the feet here. Interesting to see if we see a different approach from Jonnatas. He pulled earlier in the match, right? And Mica was able to bring his knee in the middle off that pull.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful Sasai right there.
We do get to see that from Mica quite often, don't we, Sean?
Yep.
It's beautiful. It's what, you know, we were talking about this with the Shanji and the Kit match. There are certain things where these guys and girls are so experienced in these positions. It's hard to see with the eye the adjustments that are being made, but it's a physical intelligence that's felt over long periods of time, and he just throws that on at the perfect times and sends people flying who have very strong, solid bases.
Yep.
Back into a Mica body lock here, right?
See, now he's got to sprawl his leg a little bit. Yeah, he's a little high. That's better for him to move down. You can hug the legs together in this situation. Half guard, when you get a body lock, it's hard to move down low enough to separate the legs. That's the problem he's having at the moment. He doesn't really need to separate the legs. He can start to walk right over the top of, like this, and then move to the right, his right, and just walk over the top of the legs. But because to separate the legs, he's got to move down and hug the legs. There he's starting to do that. So shoulder in the hip, and then you can start to sprawl your legs, separates the legs, and you can leg pummel, start climbing up an opponent that's going to bridge. You almost bet that he will bridge like that, and then you climb right up the body. There it is. He's walking his elbow up the body.
Hip switch over. Another pass for Mica. Almost makes his way over the mountain, hips back off. You know, for a second there in that body lock, Jonnatas was actually looking up at the referee saying, you know, he's not moving forward. He's kind of had this a little look of impatience on his face, and then that was right when Mica was stepping over. There's that battle for that inside arm like we were noticing in a couple other matches earlier. You see Mica's left hand controlling Jonnatas' right. Jonnatas again on that arm drag. I wonder what he's got in mind there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to set up that arm lock, or the Troy bar, the arm lock over the top, whatever you want to call it. But and then if that fails, get underneath it for inversions. Trying to get closer to the leg.
Yeah, we do see Jonnatas Gracie with some really great leg locks.
He's also really great at inverting. So.
Yeah, it's such a common strategy we see. Great strategy from the guard where you can attack the upper body, and when the person defends the upper body, they open up the lower, and vice versa, right? It's very similar to takedowns we've been talking about, right? You attack the head, open up the legs, and vice versa. And especially when you have people that are so high level, you're going to see these very multi-dimensional attacks. It's A, B, C, D, not just A, right?
That's right.
Just about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. You know, we've had one judge's favor for Mica, and no surprise there with the strong passes, but Jonnatas is the kind of competitor you really can never count him out, especially with his submission finishes. It's just, yeah, and the amount of times he's recovered as well.
Yep. No, you definitely can't count him out.
I mean, how many people recover from the mount of Mica Galvão, right? Like, just to make sure we're keeping that in mind. Like, that says so much about the level of Jonnatas Gracie.
Oh, he's gonna pass.
Look at that pummeling right there with the shins.
That's nice.
Beautiful. But look, this is a good butterfly position for Jonnatas, though. Yeah, we saw it with the passing, with the side control, we also see it with the passing. Mica's ability to pummel his shins inside, whether it's the butterfly position with the legs to then move Jonnatas' knees out of the inside position, or it's with the arm when he's in side control to remove a frame. He does such a great job of using his lower body to control the limbs. That can be forgotten sometimes when we get very focused on using the upper body to grab and control. You see great grapplers oftentimes use their lower body to do the same.
Blue.
Here another judge's favor for Mica Galvão. No big surprises there. We've got 4 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock in our main event. This is for the belt. This is for the belt, and Mica Galvão, like we mentioned earlier, is looking to become the second concurrent flow grappling champion, meaning that he would be the champion in 2 weights at one time, just like Pato. Pato's the only one.
He's going to try to get into a false sweep or a calf slicer here. If he can thread that right foot through the middle and then the left, no, he can't do it.
Wow, he did have some tension on that, though, for a minute, Sean.
Let's go, Grace.
Mica again controlling that arm and jumps over the top. We see him here often on these Kimuras. This could be it. He is very dangerous from this position. Look at the extension. Look at the knee use.
Yeah, Jonnatas
kicking
had a
the arms
beautiful
off.
counter. Yeah, that was a very nice counter.
Jonnatas just jumps on top of Mica in return.
And he has to get going here, so he knows that, I think.
And I think that response to having that moment of freedom tells us a lot about where Jonnatas wants to be. He wants to be on top. He wants to change things up. He's not looking to be on bottom, risk getting his guard passed again. But he's going to have to take down Mica to do it. I don't see Mica pulling here unless maybe there's a flying submission, which we do see him go for quite often, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's sort of showing it a little bit. Trying to Sasai again, but...
Another pull here, but this time right into a butterfly. It looked like Jonnatas was maybe trying to get him overhead right away, but Mica's base with his hips back was just very, very heavy. Head and arm control here from Mica Galvão, but also shoulder crunch potential for Jonnatas Gracie, and he has been attacking that same side arm the whole time, right?
Yeah, he's going to have to get way out to his right to get anything going on that. He's trying to, so Mica trying to clear the knee, get over the knee, but the underhook now is a little high. The body lock's a little bit too high. If Jonnatas even wants to make a frame on his own knee, it'll be very difficult for him to clear the knee with his hands like, yeah, he's gonna have to let go.
Back in a very similar position. Has those legs locked, but now figure fours his legs. Jonnatas Gracie's got a tight figure four on the leg of Mica, or is it over the thigh? A little hard to see.
Yeah, I think he's still thinking about a false sweep / calf slicer to get some. There's a nice inversion.
Similar to what we saw earlier. We saw his exact position, Sean.
He's got the hip locked on the far side, so if he can come up and keep that hip locked and scorpion this in, yeah, the legs are working. He's got to try to get a scorpion on that inside leg.
Yeah, you could see the fight for the position there with both of their ankles and their shins.
Absolutely. If Jonnatas can get that right knee threaded, he's got to switch his feet. So the left knee opens and the right leg, he's lost the hip now, so it'll be more difficult. He may invert, but it's going to be much more difficult to
Make it happen now, Grace.
I think we're going to see Jonnatas get even more insistent, right? He's got just over 90 seconds left, and his belt's on the line. His title's on the line.
Yeah.
Create some more space here now. Mica may try another knee cut. We've seen a couple from him so far. Jonnatas had a good look of control in that wrist with 2 hands. You can hear Jonnatas' corner urging him to go and really go for it. He hasn't got much time to make something different happen. And Mica's a finisher, too. I can't imagine he's not going to be continuing to try to finish this fight with 1 minute left.
He is stepping up the pace as well. He really is.
Big extension there. Another pass almost here for Mica Galvão, but Jonnatas just keeping him at bay. Potentially opening up some head attacks, some arm attacks here if Jonnatas continues to turn.
I think Mica's actually, he's going to try to finish. I mean, I think he's really stepped up the pace. It's an arm and guillotine. Yeah, onto the Dars.
Made a big adjustment there.
That's on. It might be too much on the face. I don't. Looks pretty. Yeah, it's on the face. Maybe now.
Jonnatas just enough space to survive here. It's right over the face.
Yeah.
Look at the control of the arm, though. Almost there from Mica.
He's got to lower it a little bit. Now it could still be insanely painful right there. So.
I mean, a lot of people are going to be tapping to that shot. Maybe not Jonnatas, but a lot of people. Wow, comes out. Final seconds are going to wind down, and that is going to do it for Mica Galvão and Jonnatas Gracie. Our main event, our middleweight title fight, a title defense for Jonnatas Gracie, and an attempt at 2 titles at the same time for Mica Galvão. We're going to go to our judges' decision here in just a moment. What a match. What are some of the things that really stuck out to you here, Sean? I mean, does anything surprise you about the match? Did it go how you thought?
I mean, well, he dropped on a leg and took the back. So, yeah, of course. He just, you know, Mica did his thing, did very, very well to do that. Jonnatas is very tough. Is a really difficult guy to contend with. I mean, he's exceptionally talented. He's a rolling Kimura and countered really well by Jonnatas. He was able to keep the hip, used his foot to push off the bicep. Really classic T Kimura counter, and then tried to stay on top, but couldn't do it. Nice inversion, and then there's that hip lock, and he was trying, Jonnatas, to get the legs pummeled in right, and then there's the end there. It's just on the face, that strangle. So that strangle was just too much on the face, not able to really create either enough pain or enough strangle to finish.
I was gonna say maybe a lot of pain, but not quite forcing the tap, right?
Right.
It wasn't gonna go to sleep
That's
or
right.
anything, but couldn't have been comfortable. Nice ending there for Mica Galvão after a pretty dominant showing through this match, but we are gonna get our official decision here in the center of the mat in our main event bout.
After 15 hard-fought minutes, we go to the judges. And your winner by decision and new WNO middleweight champion of the world, Mica Galvão!
And there you have it. Our new middleweight champion, Mica Galvão, is now